And I'm thinking a lot about like how I want my future to progress. I feel like not having the answers is totally okay. Good morning, everyone. I spontaneously decided that I will take you with me to the office today, where I'll be going in like a few minutes, I hope. And we haven't talked in a long time, at least in my time. I feel like I haven't vlogged in like 2 weeks or something at least. And I'm not really prepared, so let's see how much I will film, but I think it's time to pick up the camera again. Currently getting ready, which you can see from this weird angle. And I'm almost done. I just have to pack my food afterwards and we're gonna take my bike. Yesterday altogether I drove an hour or a little bit more to get to and back from a concert. I saw Ethel Cain for the 3rd time in my life. I'm actually really lucky that I got so many tickets so often. Maybe I even have like 1 or 2 clips I can show you right now. I'm definitely a little bit tired and exhausted from yesterday. Whatever. We're still gonna take the bike. Also welcome, and I'm glad that you're here. Because I'm on the highest floor, I sometimes have to leave my windows open, especially because we had such a long and intense and hot week the last week. So I have to leave the window open kind of constantly. And when I came back, there were so many bugs. You have no idea. It was disgusting. And I don't mind them that much because I have the same ones on my balcony. But in my kitchen, that's obviously a different story. So I was kind of freaking out. I literally just sprayed them with like cleaning stuff. I really couldn't help myself. I didn't know what to do. I don't have any like bug repellent, so I just had to like manually get rid of them yesterday night at like 10 p.m. But I think I actually managed because now they're all gone, hopefully. I have a trap. I do have a trap that I put out because I don't wanna do this again. Hello again, I'm back at my desk at home. I was actually kind of anxious today. I haven't had that in quite a few days, to be honest. But today I was not really feeling it and there weren't too many people in the office either. So as I still have some meetings until 6 p.m, I thought I'm just gonna go home during the day. I actually spent my lunch break with an old friend of mine and I haven't seen her in like a year, I think, like quite some time. And we went for a coffee, which was really nice. But again, like I was so stressed about being around strangers. I kind of got a little bit panicky at some point, so I just really wanted to call. I also managed to arrive here before it got rainy again. It's very windy today, like so much. So driving with my bike was actually exhausting. I made it home in one piece. I went to the Asian grocery store to just get some vegetables for later on, because I want to not have to cook too much. I'm just going to do some vegetables and like some tofu I have, and actually use my evening after work. I feel like this week I actually did a lot of things after work. Today I just want to stay home and like care for some things. It's actually my first week where I have the Wednesday off because I reduced my hours finally. From July on, I decided to do only 4 days per week, and I'm gonna have a free day every Wednesday, which is so exciting. And I feel like I'm kind of getting a little bit of my energy back. The last 2 weeks were the worst because we had a heat wave here. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but it was like up to like 38 degrees. And actually last weekend I had to leave my apartment. I left the city because inside here it gets so much hotter than outside, and I really cannot deal with the heat. So I was fortunate enough to be able to book myself an Airbnb somewhere else and just enjoy my time there a little bit and like do nothing and just kind of stay inside in like an apartment that's not boiling. If you've been wondering where the fuck I am, I'm definitely not at home because my home is currently an oven and it's turned up to like 200 degrees. So I decided I'm definitely not going to be there. Europe is currently experiencing a heat wave, and specifically here in my area, it's like 38 degrees this weekend. It's worse in some other parts of Germany, but it is pretty warm. And as you know, I live on the highest floor. So even with an AC, I usually only keep my apartment at like maybe 30, 31 degrees when it's like over 30 degrees outside. And because it's gonna be like 35, 37, probably even warmer because there's gonna be sun the whole day for like the whole weekend, I decide I just cannot be there because I actually might die. I might actually experience a heat stroke or something in there. Because my AC is working, but it's not working a lot. So the only thing it does is like pump cold air into like one specific area of the room, and then it just kind of, I feel like it evaporates. So in all honesty, I booked myself an Airbnb, which is like on the ground floor in like half in the basement basically, because I really don't function with heat. Like, I mean it when I say I'm actually scared of like having any health implications in my apartment. First of all, I'm a woman, so I struggle more with experiencing heat. I don't sweat a lot. I'm also on my period, so this is like, it's not great when it's warm. It's like the worst thing to do when it's hot outside, to be perioding. Plus, as you know, I have anxiety, and my anxiety and my symptoms are kind of correlating with the symptoms of experiencing heat. And like, It kind of is like a vicious cycle because it just gets worse when one of those things is there and then the other thing is there too. Long story short, I rented an Airbnb and it's pretty chill in here. I mean, it's still warm, of course. It's going to be like 35 degrees outside today, so I cannot experience to like feel cold. But it's definitely a temperature I can function in, which I couldn't say from my apartment. Yeah, and today's Friday. I'm just working. I had some breakfast and like a very, I wanted to say chill morning, but that's not true. I have so many meetings. Like today's such a busy work day for me. And yeah, we're just gonna spend the weekend here and I don't know, I brought some books, I brought some craft stuff, my Switch. I think we're just gonna chill. I haven't been anywhere by myself in a long time, so let's see what happens. Okay, I feel like this light is very bad. I'm so sorry also. It's kind of echoey in here. But I just quickly wanted to talk to you. I want to let you know how my day went. Honestly, I was kind of just working and then crashed out on the couch for a little bit. I was just reading and snacking, and even though in here it's pretty cool, I feel like I'm still a little bit affected by the weather outside, mostly because I have to keep it dark in here and there's like no fresh air. Probably that's also an issue, but I can barely go outside. Like I went outside for a few minutes during my lunch break and then in the afternoon, and only like an hour ago or something I went out for a bit and actually helped like watering the plants because everything is so dried out. And so then I went for a shower and now I'm gonna make some dinner. And all things considered, I'm probably gonna prioritize sleep because I haven't been sleeping the best due to the heat.
What I'm doing in place of my phone. I was thinking about this the other day. I love it. They do all of the prep, science-backed shit they have.
It's Saturday and it's like 9:30 and already 30 degrees, so I'm not able to open my windows. And I also don't want to because there's so many insects just coming in. You have no idea how many mosquitoes I had to kill yesterday night. Like I was up for about an hour longer than I wanted to because every time I closed my eyes I would hear some buzzing, and like my hearing is very sensitive, so I had to get up and like kill every single one of them. I have to like kind of keep the window open for a few minutes because I'm in the bathroom and I showered yesterday and I need a little bit of air circulation. I slept pretty okay besides having to like stay up for so long, which I didn't want to. Initially I wanted to be outside a little bit earlier today, but I think the weather is still okay enough that I can at least have breakfast outside right now. So I'm just gonna get ready and sit outside somewhere. talked to my dad for like 45 minutes. Whenever we start talking, we have so much to talk about. But that was very nice, and in that time I made some food. I made myself a soup, which I'm gonna enjoy now, and just wind down for a little bit because I really need that. The week was so intense somehow, like I did so many nice things, but also I'm just depleted, so I'm gonna enjoy my soup and watch some Avatar. Good morning, everyone. I didn't manage to get up at all, as always. I just feel like it's so hard to get out of bed early enough to, I have some time before work. I snoozed like almost half an hour and I have my first meeting in 30 minutes, and I was planning to do like some journaling before and have breakfast and whatever, but I also don't really feel like I'm too hungry. So yeah, I'm thinking about like rescheduling a little bit my work day, because I wanted to go to the gym in my lunch break, but if I only eat a little bit later and I just have coffee now, I can only go to a gym later, if that makes sense. So I have to do like a little bit of thinking right now how I do my day, but I have to go to a gym at some point, definitely, because my back hurts so much. I think I'm just gonna make a coffee and prepare breakfast for later. I have 10 minutes to make some food. I really need some, but I do have a meeting in 10 minutes. It's a type of meeting where I can eat while having it, but I cannot cook while having it. Because I'm kind of, it's my meeting, I have to lead it. So I think what I will do is I will just cut a few vegetables. I think I have like another ready meal I can just make use of very quickly. Those are the best cookies in the whole entire world. They're filled with peanut butter and they're so sweet. I can only eat like one of them at a time. I was thinking I might have something to talk about, so that's why we have the mic. Okay, I just have to get like a hair tie and then I'm ready. Not prepared at all, as always. Even though I'm such a type A, but I feel like my anxiety cancels being type A out, because the stress makes me forget all the things I planned. I have a bunch of vegetables in front of me and I'm gonna make some food. I'm not exactly sure yet what. I also have some like vegan meat alternative from my Asian grocery store that I really like that I'm gonna use. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna make like a soup or stew or nothing saucy with it. Just stew sounds good, I don't know. It's Friday evening and I'm spending the evening at home by myself. And at the moment, that's something I do a lot, to be honest. I spend a lot of time with myself because a lot of things changed in my friendships, and the people I used to see a lot I don't see quite as much anymore, and I feel like this created kind of like a vacuum where I didn't notice immediately that my friendships were changing, so I was like clinging on to them while I could have already made use of the time to fill my time with other things or find new friends, which I didn't. So that's what I'm doing right now. But also, I don't want to just replace relationships with other relationships. I think it's good that I have some more time to spend by myself and figure things out, because Why is there like gooey stuff on my zucchini? But yeah, as you know, I'm like in a big existential crisis at the moment. Or if you didn't know that before, now you know. And I'm thinking a lot about like how I want my future to progress and where and with what and with whom and all those kind of things. And I don't have any answers to that, nothing. I feel like not having the answers is totally okay, like you don't need to know everything all the time. But as someone whose like biggest fear is losing control, I do strive on certainty, and uncertainty just freaks me out so much. And especially like I'm definitely a social person, even though I'm a big introvert, but I do need my like regular friendship times, and with regular I mean I really like it to be a regular occurrence and something I can plan for and not something spontaneous. And this is something that's just changing right now because I feel like I actually cannot just, you know, rely on people wanting to hang out with me all the time, the same time they always do or they always did, if that makes sense. I also have fluctuating energy levels, you know, and there's like times I hang out more with people or with like a certain type of people than other times. Some people are just meant for a certain time in your life, but then again, I did really rely on certain people to always be there, and that's just not the case. And I feel like one thing I will do immediately is that I will distract myself from feeling lonely or feeling hurt by just filling my time. And I definitely did that in like the last weeks especially, and I think that was fine too, you know, like whenever I have like a social high, I kind of want to make use of that because I know at some point I will get very anxious again and like need more time for myself at home. But I feel like I was kind of trying to replace, and now I'm at a point where I notice that like for me it's not about replacement, but just like, you know, I have more time, what do I fill it with? And I decided that I still want to fill it with people. I'm just gonna like diversify my social interactions in a way, or make sure I like find new people to hang out with, and also spend more time with myself, and you know, get back into having like a little bit of boredom. I feel like the last few weeks were so intense with the heat and with work and with just stuff going on, you know, and like grieving and angry. Being angry about the state of the world, guys. What the fuck is happening with the climate? Also, what the fuck is happening in German politics? You have no idea. If you're not in Germany, I mean, everywhere politics are kind of weird and fucked up and male-centered and conservative and right-leaning and just a whole fucking mess. We all know that. But in Germany, bro, it is so bad. Like, our chancellor wants us to basically have a doctor's note by the first day that we feel like we might be sick. And that's something that is not the case usually. And it's not how a lot of employers do that. Usually you need a sick note from like the third day on. And he also wants to cancel like being able to just call your doctor for a doctor's note, which I think is so crazy. Like, whenever I go to the doctor, the waiting room is bursting every day. Whatever day I go to, there is so many people. And whenever I just have like a cold or something, or I have period pain and I'm not able to work, I can just call my doctor most of the times. And if I would have to go in there every time, I just need like a day off because of period pain or whatever, you know, it's not gonna work. The system is not made for that. So yeah, there's like a lot of social and political issues, obviously, also messing with me. The climate is messing with me. I'm so heat intolerant. You have no idea. It's the worst. And basically what I want to say is I'm very busy. I'm very busy with not losing my fucking mind and working and maintaining my relationships and maintaining my place and my health. I just have like a limited amount of energy, and that's just something I need to come to terms with and plan accordingly. I'm just gonna hang out at my place, not do too much, make some food, and hopefully go to bed early because I do have some social plans on the weekend. Yay! Yay me!